right. Hi, everybody. Just waiting for it to actually reach 5 o'clock. For those of you that are just joining now, props that are useful for today's practice are a blanket. So if you don't have a blanket, you can use a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a pillow or a towel or something that can be plush enough to lift up the chest so that the chest can be above the heart. We'll be laying on that at the beginning of class to start in a heart opener. The other prop that'll be really useful for you for today's practice will be a strap. If a strap is not something that you have around the house, you can use a belt. You can also use a broomstick or a really long cord, something that will give you tension between your hands. We're going to lift it up overhead and lower it behind your back. So something that has that tension that can hold and pull away will be really good for you. And we'll get started in about 1 more minute. I'll give you an opportunity to kind of go around the house and grab that blanket and that strap for today's practice, and then we'll get started. If you have any requests for today's practice, since there are a few of you live right now, you can go ahead and maybe type in the comments something that you'd like to work on. If not, totally cool too. We'll be opening up into our chest and doing a back bend today. Shalambasana is our peak posture or locust pose. So let's go ahead and make our way to our mats. From here, go ahead and just find a seat. You want this prop, whatever your prop is, to hit you at the back up into your shoulders. You don't want it to go into the neck and the head. You want the neck and the head to drape down towards the ground so that it lifts your chest above your heart. From this posture, we can really begin to get a heart opener where you feel a stretch across the front of your chest. So let those hands go down by your sides, or maybe they spread out wide, almost in a T shape, palms facing up. Maybe your knees are bent like mine, or maybe you want the legs to grow long, finding space to relax. If you don't have your eyes closed, just letting those eyes close and begin to settle into this space. We're probably in a place that's familiar to us, so think about settling in mentally. How you're choosing to show up for your practice today. Today we're practicing Maya or illusion. So we have these ideas, these concepts, these beliefs of how things should be in our world, in our bodies, in our minds. And we can't change anything if we don't realize that we're doing it. So we have these illusions, these veils that are draped on our perception of our reality around us. So just taking a moment to realize how you've shown up today. However you've decided to show up. Maybe frustrated, tired, relaxed, happy, sad, mad. Not judging yourself, but really just noticing. And then from here, notice if you're holding on to that tension in your shoulders. Holding those shoulders up instead of letting them fall down to the ground. Expanding into that chest a little bit more, find your breath. Breathing in and out. On On your inhale, fill up into your chest, expand through your collarbones, through your rib cage. Maybe you open your mouth and let it go. 2 more breaths just like that. Inhaling, filling up. And then exhale, letting go. One last time, biggest inhale that you can take, filling up all the way. And then open your mouth and let it go. Letting go of however you've decided to show up. Realizing that illusion, that veil, and beginning to dissipate into your mat. Coming into this subtleness and ease of showing up for yourself, for your body. And then slowly begin to wiggle those toes and fingers. Maybe rolling your wrists and ankles. And then gently taking those hands, palms facing down by your hips. Press into those elbows to gently lift yourself up, tucking that chin into your chest. Remove whatever prop you have underneath you and just set it over to the side. From here, gently begin to lay back down onto your back. Bend at your knees, plant your feet on the mat. We're going to work with the tilt of our pelvis here. We'll be going into some back bends today. And Shannon, my yoga studio owner, has always told me that in every forward fold, there is a back bend, and in every back bend, there is a forward fold. So to come into these back bends or to come into forward folds, we really want to pay attention to the tilt in our pelvis. And to pay attention to this, go ahead and just let the natural arch of your spine come up. So we all have this natural arch in the lumbar spine, the bottom of our spine, where we curl, right? When you think about this, our tailbone is pointing down into the ground, and there's an arch. The chest is just kind of neutral here. Press your hands into your mat. Inhale. And then exhale, gently begin to press down, letting the whole entire back be flat. Engaging through your core. Inhale, let the spine round again. Tilts that pelvis, the tailbone tilts down towards the ground. Exhale, press the spine down, make it flat. That tailbone points up, almost scooping sensation, right? With that tailbone as we press down. Inhale, round, tilt. Exhale, flatten, scoop the tailbone. Those will be my terms I use today. Tilt and scoop. Inhale, let the rounding happen. And exhale, scoop. With that tailbone, flatten the back, use your core. Inhale, stay here. Stay engaged through the abs. Exhale, press those hands down, press the elbows down. Inhale, press down through your feet as you lift your hips up. Good. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, think if your knees are jetting forward and try to pull the knees in towards your head. So creating a sensation of the thighs engaging, your hamstrings engaging to lift the pelvis up. Think about pressing the shoulders into the mat, letting the neck be long. So we're not trying to bring the chin in towards the chest, but really just let that chin point up towards the ceiling. Find a long neck. Letting go of any tension you're holding onto here. See if you can press into those heels and lift up a little bit higher. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. Good. Let the natural arching, the tilt of the pelvis happen here. Letting that arch come back in the lumbar spine as you lower down. Good. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, press the belly down, flatten the back, scoop that tailbone under. Exhale, press down through the body, press down through the feet. Think about if your knees are spreading wide, really pull those knees together, not all the way together where we're tapping the knees, but just lifting them up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale here. Inhale, maybe you lift the heels up. Think about that pelvis pressing up, that tailbone scooping under. Inhale. Exhale, lower the spine down vertebrae by vertebrae until the last thing that lowers are the heels. From here, just gently bring your knees in towards your chest and softly rock side to side, massaging that lower back. And then meet back at center. Let the arms open up to a T. Inhale. Exhale, take the knees over to the right. Maybe your gaze is up towards the ceiling or over to the left. Think about both shoulders pressing into the mat. And just coming into this nice twist, this gentle twist. Not trying to force anything here at the beginning of our practice, just letting things naturally unfold. Thinking about letting go of that tension or anything that you're holding on to. And focus on your breath. One more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Inhale, bring those knees back to center. And then exhale, take them over to the other side. Good. Think about that shoulder pressing down into the ground. And then let go of any effort. Letting gravity do its work. Finding that breath. Connecting to this space and time. Right now, in this moment, on your mats. Dropping any of those illusions of the past, the present, the future, and just being right here. Breathing. One more inhale. Exhale, bring those knees back to center. Inhale, slowly begin to grab onto those knees. Rock and roll yourself up into a seat. From your seat, maybe you grab that blanket that you had at the beginning of class and sit on top of it. Maybe you just sit directly on the mat. Up to you. Finding a comfortable seat, take those hands to the knees. And here, let's focus on engaging our core here. So draw the belly in, draw the ribs in, sit up nice and tall. Maybe even use your hands as a lever to press them into your knees. Think about those shoulders rolling up to those ears and down, settling into their pockets. So you always want the shoulder blades to be down towards the tailbone and into the back to really find space to broaden across the chest. Opening up and expanding here. Maybe finding that breath, connecting. Notice how much effort it takes to sit up nice and straight. All day we're hunching over, we're sitting. It takes that core, that engagement to sit up nice and tall. From here, take those fingertips out to the side, letting the fingertips rest on the mat. Inhale. Think about the chest shining forward. Good. Now notice if your ribs, your bottom ribs start to splay out. Can we use our core to draw those ribs in, flatten the back like we were when we were on our backs, right? We were getting rid of that lumbar spine rounding. Using our back muscles, our core here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, let your right hand plant. Left hand reaches up and over. Think about if that shoulder is shrugging up to your ears, find space across the chest. Really reaching up and expanding into that left side body. Good, inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down the left hand. Plant it. Inhale, reach that right hand up. Think about that shoulder relaxing down. We're almost pressing the ribs to the right to expand that arm up. Notice if you're like letting that hand just hang, let it be active. Let those fingertips reach. Really find space. Think about pressing the shoulders into that space. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, slowly lift the hands up. Maybe point the thumbs down, reach back. Good. Exhale. Inhale, draw those bottom ribs in, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, meet back at center. Have the knees or hands on the knees, and then tuck your chin to your chest. Create a C in your spine like you're rounding. Press those palms into the hands, and then inhale, slowly rise up, let the chest shine, reach up, look up, and then exhale. Good. Inhale, find that strap or your broomstick or your cord or your belt, whatever it may be. Take it long. We don't want any tension in the rope. You're going to find what you need, right? So whatever length you need, you'll find it. You'll adjust. Meet back at center. Inhale, pull those straps apart. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. The ribs pull in. Good, the heart shines. Exhale, take the strap behind you. Notice if you're like bending at the elbows to take it behind you, you let the arms straight. Find more room on the strap, so the further away your hands are, the easier it is to get the strap behind your back. Let it touch your hips. Good. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Whew. And then exhale, lower down in front. We'll do this 3 more times. I'm going to open my strap up to find a little bit more length. So inhale, we're lifting. And then exhale, we're taking it behind. Good. Inhale, we're lifting. And exhale, taking it behind. Notice that sticky spot. Mine is like right when I take it around my back. Maybe just pause in that stickiness for 1 breath. Pulling the strap apart, really finding that space, and then letting go of tension in the neck. And then exhale, just lower all the way down. Good. Inhale, lift it back up. I think we've got 2 more times here. Exhale, lower down. Good. Finding this space to open up into the shoulders, into the front of the chest. So really come in handy in our back bends later. And then last one, I don't know what number we're on, but last one here. Finishing up on both sides, lifting it up overhead on the inhale. Exhale, lowering it down. Take the strap, the belts, the cord, whatever it is, and put it off to the side. We will be using it a little bit later in our practice. From here, let's go ahead and make our way into a tabletop position. So finding that tabletop, maybe removing that blanket underneath, or maybe keeping it as a support for your knees. Up to you on your choice there. From your tabletop, look at your fingers, spread them wide, press your fingertips down into the mat. Stack your shoulders over your wrist and your hips over your knees. Again, let's engage the core here. So think about that tailbone scooping under, the back muscles being strong, your belly being strong here, your gaze is slightly forward looking down at the ground. So we're at the edge of your mat, past your fingertips. Good, let's start our cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly. Notice the tilt in the pelvis, the tailbone scoops up, the belly drops, the chest shines forward, opening up. And then exhale, we round. The tailbone tucks, the chin tucks, we push away. Do a few more cat-cows to your own breath, your own movement. If you haven't already, maybe adding in that ujjayi breathing, that constriction in your back of your throat as you breathe in and out through your nose. It can begin to sound like an ocean wave being steady, connecting that breath to movement. It can be a little exaggerated. Maybe you need a little bit more movement for your cat-cow, maybe a wag of the tail, maybe almost a push back through child's pose. Maybe it feels good to stay stagnant in one of the postures where it feels really good. Taking a breath there before moving on. Not really paying attention to how you look, but more how you feel. This illusion, this ego that we have controlling what we do and say. Letting it go and just letting your body move. Last time through. And then meeting up at that neutral tabletop position. From here, curl your toes under. Think about your belly dropping and your chin lifting. We'll push back up into downward dog on the exhale, but keep those knees hugged in towards your belly, towards your ribs, and come up onto the tippy toes. Think about if you're squeezing those shoulders up to your ears to relax the shoulders, pressing them into the back and down towards the tailbone, or up towards the tailbone in this case. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly begin to lift the hips up higher, straighten the legs, and then exhale, lower down your heels. From here, we're in that downward dog. Maybe it feels good to pedal out your feet, bending deeply into one knee and then the other, pressing the heel down of the opposite knee that's bent. Good. Settling into this new posture, this new position. Letting go of how it's supposed to look or how you're looking. How does it feel? Is there tension and tightness into your shoulders? Is there pain in your knees and your hips and your hamstrings? Where do you feel tight? Good. From here, gently meet back in a neutral downward dog. Look back at your knees. See if they're bowing in towards one another. Can we spread those knees slightly apart? Expanding into our lower back. Inhale, look forward at the fingertips. And then exhale, walk your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Press down through all four corners of your feet, especially into those heels. Look at your knees, make sure they're not bowing in towards one another. Press into the arches. Good, expanding into that space into the lower back here. Think about the knees being bent, the belly, the chest trying to come over the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Doing that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. 1 more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up all the way to standing. Palms come overhead, they touch. And then exhale, let your hands come to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, send your hips back. Sit down in your chair. Look down at your toes. Make sure that you can see all 10 toes. If you can't, press your knees back even further. From here, notice if there's any scrunching sensation in the back. I always tend to do this, have this nice scoop. Think about when you were on your back and you were trying to get the back flat. Pull the ribs and belly in and then scoop your tailbone under. Do you notice that change? As you scoop the tailbone under and press the ribs and belly in. From here, your hands can be at heart center. Notice how it feels to reach the arms above the head. If there's too much tension in the shoulders and the neck this first time around, you can always leave the hands at heart center. 1 more deep breath in, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step 1 foot back and then the other, find plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down knees, chest, chin. Keep the hips lifted up towards the ceiling, the heart's down, the chin's down. Notice if there's a scooping sensation in that tailbone as you find an arch in the spine. Inhale, 1 more breath here. Exhale, press the hips down. Lift the head and chest. And baby cobra here, the bottom ribs are still down on the mat. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, tap the forehead to the mat. Inhale, lift up. Think about your toes pressing into the mat. So those toenails are pressing, those knees are lifted up, our hips are pressed into the mat so we can lift up even further. Exhale, lower down. 1 more time here. Inhale, lifting the chest and heart and head. Press into those toenails, lift the knees, engage. There's a slight engagement in your glutes. You want them at like 50% here. So we're not trying to crack nuts. We're just trying to gently engage. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, curl the toes under, press into the hands, send the hips back, child's pose. Finding space in your child's pose to let your head rest down. So our hips are back to our heels, our knees can be spread wide or just resting on those thighs. Think about your breath here, filling up into that belly space. Feeling the belly press into those thighs. Exhale, softening in the back. Connect to your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, press into your hands. Curl the toes under, send those hips back, and then up towards the sky, downward dog. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, look up at the fingertips. Exhale, walk your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, rise up all the way to standing. Palms come overhead, they touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, sit back in that chair. Think about that scooping of the tailbone down, the back flattening. And then look down, make sure you can see all 10 toes. Maybe lift up the toes, spread them wide, and set them down one by one. From here, think about a block in between your legs, engaging here. Keep your core tight, your back and your belly. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead. If this is too much for those arms to reach, bend at the elbows and grab opposite elbows. Think about letting go of tension in the chest, softening the shoulders into the back, down towards the tailbone. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, maybe step or hop back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down knees, chest, chin. Inhale, press the hips down, lift the heart and head. And exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, lift heart and head. Exhale, curl the toes under, press back into child's pose, hips to heels. Letting the arms expand, reach out in front. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, press up into that downward dog, sending the hips back and then up. Finding that breath, one more here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward at the fingertips. Exhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up all the way to standing. Palms come overhead, they touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding just a moment here to pause. Maybe grabbing a drink. Maybe just finding space to breathe. Letting this flow go. We'll add on another one together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, begin to shift the weight into the left foot. Exhale, begin to come onto the toes of your right foot. Inhale, see if you can lift the right knee up. Think about the toes being flexed towards the body. Find space. The hands can still be at heart center, letting those shoulders drop down. Think about scooping that tailbone under. Can you lift the knee a little bit higher? Inhale. Exhale, slowly take the heel back to the hip as you lower the knee down, and then send the heel back in space, reaching back, going back, and it land behind you, coming into a high lunge. Our first high lunge here, so think hands to the hips if you need support. Think about pressing down into both feet and really pushing back through that back heel. This right knee can be a little bit bent, just so we can think about the tailbone, scooping under, the belly in towards the spine. Those ribs are hugged in, using not only our back muscles, but our belly muscles as well. Maybe those hands still stay at your hips, or maybe you reach the hands up overhead. Connecting with that breath. Inhale, soften. Exhale. If those hands are above your head, inhale, sweep them behind you, palms face back, lean forward. If your hands are at your hips, lean forward. Try to take that belly to hover above your left thigh. Draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone under. Think about the chest shining forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lower the hands down. Plant the right hand inside of your foot. And then inhale, reach that left hand high to the sky. Find a twist. Exhale, lower that hand down. Inhale, step your left foot back to meet your right. Find plank. Exhale, lower down knees, chest, chin. Inhale, press forward, lift the heart and head. And then exhale, forehead to mat. Good, coming into this first locust pose. Let's take the hands behind us, next to our sides, thumbs in towards the body, palms facing up. Think here if the hips are lifted to press those hips down. Think about the inner thighs. So we have the front of the tops of the thighs pressed down. See if you can roll onto the outside thighs just a little bit, taking those big toes in and the heels out. Finding this space, press down through that tailbone. Keep your chin down towards the ground. Inhale. Exhale, just lift the feet. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, lower down the legs. Inhale, take your hands next to your rib cage. Exhale, curl the toes under, send the hips back, and then up, downward dog. Knowing you can always pause in the child's pose when we catch our breath between these flows. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, look up at your fingertips. Exhale, walk your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, rise up all the way to standing, palms come overhead, they touch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, going through that on the left side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, press down through your right foot. Exhale, come onto the toes of your left foot. Inhale, lift that left knee. Exhale, think about that tailbone scooping under to lift the knee a little bit higher. Inhale, take your heel back to your hip. Lower down the knee as you extend the leg behind you, reaching back, bending at your right knee, lower down the toes. Have control. If you don't have control, you'll gain it over time as you continue to work. As you're in your high lunge, think about your tailbone scooping under. Your left knee can be bent just slightly as you press that heel back. Good. Inhale, either keep your hands at your hips or reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, sweep the hands behind you or keep your hands at your hips as you lead with the chest. Lean forward, lightning bolt pose. Straighten out that left leg here. Squeeze everything in towards your midline. Pull those ribs and belly in, tuck that tailbone under, look forward, shine the chest. Exhale, lower down the hands. Plant that left hand, inhale, reach the right hand high. Think about the thumb facing forward, the pinky back. Exhale, lower that hand down. Inhale, step your right foot back to meet your left. Exhale, lower down knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lift your heart and head. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, take those hands behind you, palms facing up. Exhale, press the hips down. Inhale, chin down as you lift the legs up. Exhale. Inhale, maybe you lift the chin and the heart. Exhale. Inhale, lower down. Take the hands next to your ribs. Exhale, curl the toes under. Draw the hips back and up, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward at your fingertips. Exhale, walk your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, rise up all the way to standing. Palms come overhead, they touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. One breath here. Inhale, getting ready for that transition. Exhale. Inhale, put all the weight into that left foot. Come onto the toes of the right foot. Exhale, lift the right knee. Inhale, maybe this time the arms come up overhead. Exhale, send the heel to the hip as it extends behind you. Have control, reach back, go back. Let the left knee bend as the right toes plant. Good, find space here, inhale. If it's too much for your hands to be at your head, you can always take them down to the hips. Think about that scooping. Think about that sensation in the front of the chest. Inhale. If you would like to step it up a notch, exhale, take your arms open up to a T. Exhale, flip the thumbs down. Inhale, see if you can reach back and find a bind behind you. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you begin to lift the chest and heart. Inhale, begin to reach forward, shining that heart, sending the hands behind you. Exhale. Inhale, let the bind go. Exhale, reach those hands out in front. If you'd like to add on to this lightning bolt pose, inhale, sweep the hands behind you. Press down through the left foot. We're going into warrior three. So press through that left foot as you straighten the left leg. The right leg comes behind you. Think about your head being elevated above your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Making our transition back down. Lower that foot back down where it came from. Coming into your high lunge, wherever you're at. Adding on here. Take that back heel and pivot on the toes to lower the foot down parallel to the back of the mat. Open the arms up. Warrior two. Good. Take a minute or two to find this transition. Finding the space for you. Bending into that left knee. Softening the shoulders into the back, down towards the tailbone. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, take the right elbow, wrap it underneath the left. Either grabbing at the shoulders or twisting the arms up for eagle arms. Think about pressing the elbows in towards one another and then taking those elbows away from the body. So pressing the elbows away. Feel the stretch in the back space in between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift those elbows up. And then exhale, slowly lower down, unwind. Inhale, open up, warrior two. Good. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot. Come onto the toes of the back foot. Inhale, plant the right hand, reach the left hand high, find that twist. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step your left foot back to meet our right. Exhale, lower down knees, chest, chin. Inhale, press the hips down, lift the head and heart. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, extend the hands behind you, palms facing up. Exhale, press those hips into the mat. Inhale, just lift the feet. Exhale. Inhale, lift the head and heart. Exhale, press those hips down. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale. Inhale, take the hands next to the bottom, ribs that are still on the ground. Curl the toes under. Inhale, press up. Draw those hips back and then up, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward at your fingertips. Exhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. One breath here. I'm switching sides of the mat so that you can see me in my warrior two. Inhale, press down through that right foot. Come onto the toes of the left foot. Inhale, lift the left knee. Exhale. Inhale, send that hip back or foot back to your hip and reach it back as you step back into your high lunge. Inhale, maybe those arms reach up overhead this time. Exhale, soften. Inhale, take the arms out to a T. Exhale, thumbs face down. Inhale, see if the hands can reach. If they can't reach, you can grab opposite elbows instead. But really taking those hands, palms meet, stretch them back. Open up through the heart space. Inhale. Exhale, begin to hinge forward. Don't forget about scooping with the tailbone, pulling the bottom ribs in, shining the heart. Exhale, let that go. Let the arms reach up overhead. Lightning bolt pose. Going into our warrior three here. Inhale, sweep the hands behind you. Exhale, press into that right foot. We'll begin to straighten the right leg as the left leg reaches up behind us. I'm going into my aloe plant. Try to keep your head above your heart, squeezing through those hands, lifting those hands up. And then exhale, slowly lowering back down into that high lunge. Taking your time, knowing that if you fall, you can get right back in. Reach those arms back overhead. Transitioning into warrior two, lower and pivot on that back foot. And then open the hands up to warrior two. Taking your time. If you just need to adjust, making your way there, finding space. I always love to check in on my hips, having them pressed forward, that back hip, not swinging out, but really pressed in. Bending into that front knee, letting those arms open up to a T. Good, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left back arm, hooks underneath the right arm. Maybe twisting those hands, finding eagle arms, or maybe just grabbing at the shoulders. Press those elbows in towards one another and then pull the elbows away from the body. Feeling that rounding in the shoulders. Inhale, lift the elbows up. And then exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, unwind, open back up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Left hand is going to plant. On the inhale, reach that right hand high. Twist. Exhale, lower down. Last time here. Step the left foot back, or right foot back to meet the left plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lift the head and heart. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, let those hands go long behind you, palms face up. Exhale, press the hips into the mat. Lower down the chin. Inhale, lift just the legs. Exhale. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale. One more inhale here. And then exhale, lower down. Let one cheek rest on the mat. Find just a breath. One inhale, one exhale. Good. Inhale, slowly pressing ourselves up, reaching for that strap wherever it may be. We're going to go into that posture one more time. This time with your strap for the binding of the arms. Now for me, I have a really hard time binding my arms, opening up into the front of my chest. So a strap is really useful for me to really get that sensation of opening. So we'll go back down onto our belly, letting that strap just drape over your back. And then find your hands into that strap. Think about getting them as close as you can comfortably, and then pulling that strap apart. Good, press the hips down one more time here. Find your breath, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the head. Exhale. Inhale, lift the arms, pull the strap away, lifting up, finding that separation in the front of the chest. See if you can shine it forward. Think about your gaze being slightly down, not forward. Slightly down towards the ground in front of you. One more inhale. And then exhale, lower down. Let the opposite cheek rest on the mat. Take that strap, pull it over to the side. We're done with that now. Find your breath. Good. Notice as you inhale, your belly expands into the floor. As you exhale, soften across your back. Let everything sink into the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, let your right cheek rest on the mat. Take your right hand, open it up to a T out in front of you. If you know what the shoulder stretch is already and you know that you need an elbow bent, you can bend that elbow for a more intense stretch across your chest. I'm going to keep my arms straight. Let your right cheek rest on the mat. We're going to roll on our right shoulder. So plant your left hand next to your face. Let the elbow point high. Press into that left hand. Keep your right cheek on the mat as you let your right leg roll over, your left leg roll over your right. From here, you can send that left hand into the air and let it wrap behind your back, or you can leave it right where it's at. Some people like to take that hand and place it out in front of them long. You can do that as well. But let your left foot plant on the ground to be a kickstand. And find space to open up, to feel the stretch in that right shoulder space. Breathing into that chest space. If the bind isn't serving you, you can always let it go. And then slowly, slowly take that left hand next to your face and roll back over onto your belly. Let the right hand come in. Let the left cheek rest on the ground. Take that left hand out to a T or bend at the elbow, cactus arms. Press into your right hand as you lift that right leg to send it behind you, rolling onto that left shoulder. You can leave your right hand right where it's at, or you can lift it up towards the ceiling. Bend at the elbow. I like to take the thumb, flip it, and let it rest behind the back. So thumb facing towards the head, pinky facing towards the tailbone. Good. Just breathing, finding space here. You put in all this work to your body. Deserves these nice, juicy stretches. Inhale, take that right hand back over, place it in front of the face. Exhale, roll over onto the belly. Let both hands plant next to the ribs. Inhale, press up into a child's pose. So send those hips back to those heels. Letting your knees be closer together than you would normally take a child's pose. We're going to set into a counter pose here of rabbit. I really like this stretch for the back of the shoulders. Some people really, really hate this stretch. I think it's amazing. So from child's pose, let your head rest down on the mat. Take your hands behind you. Grab onto your heels. Let your thumbs be at the outer blades of your feet, so in line with your pinky toe, grabbing at that side, the outside of your feet. And then slowly begin to tuck your chin in towards your chest, letting the top of your head ground down. From here, you can gently pull into those heels as you lift the hips up. You should feel this stretch in the back of your shoulder blades. Good, inhale, not putting too much pressure on your head, but really focusing on taking those hands and pulling into the heels as the hips lift up. Good, inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. Let the hands go from the heels. Let the forehead rest on the mat. And then from child's pose, let's take a tricep stretch. So let those hands come back out in front. You can spread the knees wide if that feels good for you. We're going to take the hands into prayer at the front so the pinkies are down, thumbs are facing up. And then from here, Bend at the elbows and take the thumbs to drape at the back of your neck. And then walk the elbows out and let your chest sink down towards the ground. Just begin to catch your breath, to find that space. Letting your exhales be longer than your inhales. Cooling breath, slowing down. And then slowly let those hands come back down to child's pose. Inhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, press your hands into your mat. Press yourself up to tabletop. Just to swing those legs over to one side. Sit down onto those hips. And then sweep the legs out in front. We'll go into a forward fold here. So let those legs go long. Let the toes point up towards the ceiling. There can be a soft bend at your knees. Think about how we have been talking about our tilt in our pelvis all day, or all class, I guess, for 45 minutes. You can take those hips, walk them back. So walk those hips back so that your tilt is forward. So you want your tailbone to be back towards the back of the room. And then take your belly in, your ribs in. You can take those hands next to your sides, even those fingertips into the ground. Press. Notice your knees, if they're coming inward towards each other. Really try to keep those kneecaps pointed up towards the ceiling. Good. Inhale, shine your heart. Tuck those bottom ribs in. Exhale, begin to walk the fingers alongside your legs. Exhale, when you've gone as far as you can, grab onto wherever your hands are at. Inhale, pull into those legs, bend at your elbows, shine your heart forward. Good, the tailbone is pointed back, the heart is shining forward. There's a little bit of arch of the upper spine. That little back bend in your forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, lower the rest of the body, fold all the way over. Inhale, shine the heart forward, mini back bend. Exhale, just fold, sink into it. Finding your breath. Maybe even letting your body just rise up on your inhale, filling up. And then exhale, just softening into it. Letting go of that tension, that stress in the back, in the hamstrings. One more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Tuck your chin to your chest, rounding your spine as you slowly rise. Letting those feet plant. Taking those arms out in front. We're working our way down towards our back. So thumbs face up, pinkies face down. Find the center of your mat. Press into those feet. Tuck your chin into your chest, round in the spine. So press back. And then slowly, using your core here, last time for that core work, lower yourself down to the ground, taking your time along the way. Going as slow as you can, maybe even shaking along the way. I'm tired, so I'm definitely shaking. Until the last thing that lowers is your head. Once your head is on the mat, you can take the feet, plant them. Try to get rid of that arch in the spine, pressing into those abs. I lied, we do have a little bit of core work, right? So we're on the ground, our back is flat. We're using our six-pack abs to press the back flat. So shoulders roll back. Begin to bend the knees in towards the chest without your hands. So think about the back being flat. We're not trying to press those knees in. We're just trying to keep the back flat. This naturalness, so wherever your knees are and the back is flat, just take your hands to those shins if you can grab them. If you can't, You can just take the hands at the thighs and hold it here and just slightly create some rock back and forth. Massaging that lower back. Let it be gentle. Let it be soft. Good. And then from here, plant your left foot. Bring that right knee in. Pull it all the way in. That left foot presses down. Going into a figure 4, let the right ankle hook on your left knee. Before we pull the left leg in, think about that right knee is pressing towards the back of the mat. The right foot is flexed. Think about your lower back being flat in the mat. And then from here, if you can't keep your shoulders down to grab onto your legs and pull them in, if this is you, you can take that strap or that belt or that cord, wrap it around your thighs, soften your shoulders into the back, and then bend at your elbows to pull in. Good. Or if you can just wrap your hands around your thighs, pull it in. Flex both of your feet to protect your knees. Maybe you can even use your bent elbow on your right to press your right knee back towards the back of the room. Just finding space here, breathing deep. Noticing if there's different experience for you to rock side to side, or maybe to straighten that left leg or bend at the knee. Knowing that your experience is different from everybody else's. Coming into that illusion once again as we close up class. What works for you might not work for others. So finding this time to do what works best for you. And noticing your body in these positions as we hold them. Slowly let the left leg go, lowering it down. Unhook the right leg, but still keep that right knee bent and towards your chest. Let the left leg go long, toes pointed up. We're going in for a twist here, so take the left hand to the outside of the right knee, and then take the right hand, open it up to a T. Think about those shoulder heads pressing into the earth before you even start, and then guide your right knee over to the left. Good. From here, you can straighten your right leg if that feels good to you. Point the toes towards the body, towards the shin. Having this experience of what it feels like to have that leg straight. If this isn't serving you and it's causing a lot of pressure and tension and you're just trying to let go with ease, you can always bend that knee. Finding that breath, softening, cooling breath, slowing down. And then slowly, slowly, take that right knee back up. Bend the left knee in towards your chest. Right foot plants, left knee stays bent. Inhale, hook that left ankle on the right knee. Press the left knee back. Either find your strap, wrap it around your thigh, or gently begin to wrap your hands around that thigh as you pull in. Notice how this experience is for you and making those adjustments as you want to, maybe rocking side to side, finding where you can feel that stretch a little bit more, exploring maybe straightening the leg and bending at the knee. Finding the best sensations. Softening the shoulders, the heart. It's done a lot of work. And slowly letting go wherever you're at, letting that right foot plant. Unhook the ankle from the knee as you bend that left knee in. Straighten the right leg, point the toes up towards the ceiling. We're going in for the twist on the right or left side. Let the left hand open up, palm facing up. Take the right hand to the outside of the left knee And gently guide the left knee over to the right. Think about the left shoulder relaxing down. And then from here, if this feels good for you, you can straighten that left leg, point the toes, press the heel towards the right. If this experience does not work for you at all, and there's scrunching and there's tension, and you just want to relax and let go, you can always bend the knee back. One more breath here. Letting go completely on the exhale. And then slowly take that knee back. One last time, hug both knees in towards the chest. Think if there's any last movements you need, maybe a happy baby, maybe a plow. Maybe you're just ready to let it all go. If that's the case, just send one leg out to the corner of your mat and then the opposite leg to the other corner of the mat, letting the toes roll open. If you need to find some other posture, go ahead and find it. Letting those hands go wide here. So taking up just a little bit more space than your knees, not letting them be scrunched down by the hips, but just let them open so that those shoulders can relax down. Into the back and down towards the tailbone. Letting the natural arches come back. There's no effort here. Letting go in the fingertips and the toes. Letting go in your forehead, unwrinkling, your jaw unclenching, parting your lips slightly. Letting the tongue rest to the back of your throat. Breathing into the chest space, filling up. Exhale, soften the back muscles down. Letting go of any last little twitches you have for your body. Coming into the stillness. The silence. Letting your whole entire practice soaking it in. Your whole entire practice led you to this moment right now. Coming into that comfort, that ease. Staying here as long as you'd like. You can stay here for 3 minutes. I would do that. 5 minutes is even better. 10 minutes would be amazing. Knowing that your practice brought you here to this moment. Stillness and ease. Wherever you're at, thank you so much for taking this opportunity, this moment in time to join me today. Stay in Shavasana as long as it's serving you. Namaste. Thank you.